So, I scrapped last week's vlog. I did not upload that one. It was horrible. So, we're starting again this week. Um, I don't know, I felt a little bit burned out last week. I started books, didn't continue with any of them. I did listen to audiobooks, but like more or less because I felt like I should. Um, it was a really weird week, so I didn't enjoy it. And so, yeah, you could see that on the blog. It really wasn't nice to watch. So, yeah, hopefully this week will be a little bit better. I did a little bit of a reset yesterday, and the day before I watched a lot of The Rings because that is always a good idea. I did start re-cleaning out my like little extra room because it was really just a storage room again, and I'm still working on it, but it's looking a lot better now. So that I can keep the door open and not feel really bad about how it's looking in there. But yeah. So for this week, I have 3 books that I've started. I don't know, I've forgotten how long I've now started these, but the first one is the one that is the longest on that I have. Well, this is the one that I started like the most amount of time ago. That is Into This River I Drown, a really sad book about grief. I'm 50 pages in, so that is where I'm standing there. And then I started The Eyes of the Void by Adrian Tchaikovsky, which is the book 2 in the Final Architect series. I'm 133 pages into this one. I have a hard time with this one just because every time I start reading this, I would much rather read the Children of Time series, but I've already read that one. So yeah, I feel kind of bad because I think it's not bad. It's by the same author, so it's really weird. But it reminds me so much of the Children of Time, just the tone of voice, the story, not at all, that I want to read the Children of Time series again. And that is not what I want to do. I want to get my TBR done. So yeah, it's kind of annoying, which is why it's taken me so long to read that. And then the last one I'm still reading is The Woven Kingdom by Tahira Mafi. I am 68 pages into this one. It starts really interesting. I don't really know where it's going, but we have our Jin main character and then the sun. I'm a little bit afraid that I won't like it because there's like kind of the prince has to marry because his grandfather is dying and his dad is already dead, and so they want him to marry someone, so it feels a little bit like a forced romance, forced marriage kind of thing, which I don't enjoy at all. So hopefully that kind of turns around in the story, but I'm not sure. So yeah, I do want to know how these books continue. I'm just having a hard time at the moment, but I will try. I will tell you about the audiobooks tomorrow because I have my tablet isn't here at the moment and I need that to remember which audiobooks I listen to. And yeah, I am currently listening to one, it's called, I think, The Con Queen, something like that. And it's about like um, pretty much like a criminal organization that, or a guy, I'm not sure yet, that conned people into thinking that he's like this high powered women in Hollywood, and he sends the victims on like travels and stuff and they pay for everything, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna pay you back, it's a big project, we're gonna make a film of it, and then that never comes to it. So it's a really really weird scam. I don't really know what to think about it because the book just it tells the story from beginning to end, but it's really really convoluted and confusing, so I don't know how I like that at the moment. But yeah, that is kind of where we're at right now. I think the biggest problem with like why I'm not really that in in the headspace to read right now is because on Wednesday I have my doctor's appointment to like hopefully get a diagnosis. So my head is there and not with the books, to be honest. So yeah, hopefully I will make some progress in these books. Maybe I might pick some other up. You know, you never know. I'm also currently watching an eBay auction for 18 of the Kathy Rice Temperance Brennan books. I do own 3 of them, but they would be for the price of like €1 for each book, which is really, really cheap, and I would still get 15 books out of the auction. And I would really love to read more of that series, so it would be really, really great to get them, secondhand. So yeah, I might buy them if I can get them for the price that they're at right now. It's like a bidding system, obviously, it's eBay. So yeah, hopefully they won't get any more expensive than I will buy them, and hopefully I get them because I would be actually in the mood to read them. But yeah, I will not read right now. I will try to read a little bit tonight, but right now I kind of just want to go up, snack a little bit, do a little bit of gaming, and then I will come back to this. Hopefully this week will turn out to be a lot more productive. And yeah, I kind of have to find my reading mojo again. I think I kind of lost that last week, which, happens. Everything happens. Just, it is what it is. Okay, so let's do a check-in. It is Tuesday, I think. I'm gaming because I'm having a lot of fun playing the Tomb Raider remakes. It's a lot of fun, so that is what I'm doing right now. But I did start a new book yesterday. Yes, I wanted to continue with the 3 other ones, but I was in the mood for another book, and I had actually a lot of fun starting that yesterday, so I will continue with that one tonight. But I did also want to talk about the audiobooks that I finished last week. So I finished 2 audiobooks last week. The first one was Forgetting the Benefits of Not Remembering by Scott A. Small, which is a book about dementia and just forgetfulness in humans. And he is like not a psychiatrist, but he's like a researcher and a therapist when it comes to memory. And it's just a really interesting book about, what forgetting actually means, why it's not a bad thing per se, and what happens when you get dementia or other forms of forgetfulness. I, for example, am quite the forgetful person. I don't have a good memory, but my father also doesn't have a good memory, so it's probably a genetic thing, but it's not, in any kind of way life altering. It's just you need to adapt and write things down, otherwise you will forget them. But yeah, he kind of talks about one of that clients, and then like how you can have good memory in one aspect but like bad memory in another aspect. It's just, I felt it was a really interesting book, especially since I have a lot of like family members who had dementia or some kind of like memory loss. So yeah, it might be good to, prepare yourself pretty early on to what that could mean. And I gave that 4 stars because I felt it was too short. It was an 8-hour audiobook, but I felt like there's probably so much more you could say about the topic, and I felt like it was such a small little aspect of the topic that I would have wished it to be more. But I guess, you can only write so much if it's especially not your first job. So yeah, I finished that, was really happy with that. And then the last book, it's 7 days ago that I finished a book, but that one was the Robopocalypse audiobook. I am not the biggest fan of it. I gave it 3 stars because I think the concept of the book was that they were short stories and then they were put together, but it reads like that. It doesn't read like a coherent book. It reads like little short stories that are kind of standalone, and then you have like reoccurring characters, and in the end you have one ending, but it felt really, really weird. But the gist of the story, and like, the robots taking over, but then you have robots that are kind of immune or like were already cleansed, and then you have humans that are part machine, part human, because the machine doctored on them and they can help in stuff, and with stuff. And just the amount of humans that end up dying, but also like getting the perspective of the humans going to war against machines and what that entails. I felt like the story was really interesting, just the format did not work at all for me. I found it to be a really annoying format, to be honest, which is why I gave it 3 stars. So yeah, I will have to, I don't know, I I am currently reading a few different audiobooks or listening to a few different audiobooks. I don't know if I will finish any of them. The one I'm currently the most like along is The Queen of Hollywood, but I found that to be a really, really weird audiobook, so I don't know. But I'm still listening to that. I'm just, it takes me a little bit. And then I started a new book, and I decided to do that because of the video I recorded yesterday, because I recorded my video about my favorite male characters, and I thought about Rincewind, and I mentioned him in that video because I love Rincewind. And so I thought, I never finished the Discworld series by Terry Pratchett, and so I looked up which book would be the next that I needed to read, and that is part 28. And that is Nightwatch. So yeah, I started Nightwatch yesterday, and I stopped reading them because I read like one or two every month, and I kind of like felt like that was too much, and so I haven't read one for like, I think, well, half a year maybe, or maybe even more. And yeah, so I picked up Nightwatch yesterday. I read the first 50 pages, and I'm actually really enjoying it. So that is what I will continue with today. Once I finish up with gaming up here, which I like to leave like the last like 3 hours of the day to reading, but like physically reading and like audiobooks. So we'll see how far I will come with Nightwatch. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, the first 50 pages. It's kind of nice to get back to the characters. I do think I already like read this book like to a certain point and put it down because I just had too much of the characters, but now coming back with a little bit of time in between, I do really enjoy it. So I think that might be the best choice I can do and continue with that one. So that is nice. And yeah, also I rearranged my desk, which you're sitting on right now, because I got myself some shelves for my desk, because up here is my work desk and like where I do my gaming and stuff. And then down there I also have a desk, which is like more of a crafting desk where I film and stuff. So I got myself some organization, and I'm really, really happy with it. It makes my desk look so much more organized, and I have a place where I can put you down now, which is also really nice. He is just the cutest boy. It's not really comfortable, but because he wants to, I will do it. So I'm currently editing the video for tomorrow because I need to get that edited and uploaded. But I wanted to give you a quick update, even though I don't have the book up here with me right now. But I did read another 100 pages of Nightwatch yesterday, and I don't know if I loved the story, to be honest, but I enjoy being back in the world. So it's actually fine. It's a time travel story, but it's a weird time travel story. But I like the sweeping monks that live in the Discworld. I really like them. They're the timekeepers, and they're great. But yeah, so Vimes is now back in like pretty much like the current Vimes is back when he started at the Nightwatch. And so he's pretty much training himself now, and it's a little bit weird and awkward. Maybe a little bit too awkward for me personally, but yeah, I mean, the concept is great. It's just that there are some awkward scenes in there, which I find to be really weird, to be honest. But I'm enjoying the read. So yeah, I'm 150 pages in now, which is really, really great, which is farther than I have come with any of the other 3 books in the last week. So I'm really glad about that. So I will continue that tonight. Hopefully I will get to read at least another 100 pages. That would be ideal. Like, best would be another 150, but 100 pages would be great for one day, So yeah, and other than that, I did finish the audiobook yesterday. What did I give it? I gave it 2 stars because I finished it, but Actually, the crime that was committed here, or the crimes, because it was kind of like a series of crimes, were pretty horrific all in all, but the narrator is just really not good at narrating. It's The Con Queen of Hollywood is the one I finished. It's by Scott C. Johnson, and it's just not an enjoyable narrative how he tells the story, which really ruined the book for me. Which is why I gave it 2 stars, because the information is still good and important, but the way he delivers the information is just really weird and not enjoyable. Especially since like the last hour I listened to, he was always like he talked to the con man himself, and he's always like, "Oh, he's so nice," and then we talked, and I kind of doubted everything, because he was so nice. But yeah, I know that he's a con man, so obviously, this this is all lies. But then he does the same thing again, like for like 5, 6, 7 times. He's like, "Oh, and he told me that," and I kind of pitied him. But then I remembered he's a con man, and then he did that and that and that, and then I remembered he's a con man. It's a really weird narrative style that really, really, really does not fit the type of book that he has written. It's rather incoherent. It's not enjoyable. I wouldn't recommend it. I will look for another version, or like maybe somebody else has written a book about that, but yeah, this one isn't it, to be honest. But I finished it, which was the important part. So yeah, I don't know what I will listen to next. I haven't chosen. Also, I was at the doctor's today. We had to do some more blood tests, so hopefully they will come back conclusive. If not, my doctor is pretty much convinced that I'm gluten intolerant. Seemingly, like, sincere now. So I probably have celiac disease, but we don't know yet. But yeah, it's a weird thing to randomly just get, but having a diagnosis, or like hopefully having a diagnosis. But yeah, we're testing for celiac disease now, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I will continue eating gluten-free now. So that was also interesting, but I have a really nice doctor, so it was good. And yeah, back to editing. Okay, so I thought I'd give you a little check-in. It's really late, which is why the lighting is so bad, I'm sorry. But I read actually 150 pages today. I am a pretty good way through the book now. My hope is that I will actually be able to finish this tomorrow. I have 170 pages left, so that would only be 20 pages more than today. That should totally be doable. But yeah, I actually do really enjoy this. I think it's kind of nice to get a little bit of like the history of what happened in like the watch, and with the with veterinary, and all of those people, getting up to when we start pretty much with the story of like Vimes and the Night Watch. With the first book, this is kind of giving us a history of what happened in the watch, and how kind of the whole watch was shaped and stuff like that. So it's actually really interesting. And yeah, it's pretty much a lot of like people trying to kill each other, but it's like every watch book essentially. So yeah, I'm actually really happy with reading this. And yeah, I read 150 pages right now, which did go quite nicely. So I have high hopes that I will finish at least this book tomorrow, and then we'll see which book I will pick up next. I don't really know yet, but that is a problem for future me. Okay, quick check-in for the evening. I fulfilled my promise to myself, and I finished Night Watch today. Right now, actually. And yeah, I liked it. I didn't love it. But the thing is, I felt like there were really, really good scenes, and then there were like kind of more on the disappointing side scenes. So all in all, I gave it 3.5 stars, because it kind of weighed itself out. There were like parts I found to be more boring, and then there were more interesting parts. But yeah, we get a lot of history Morpok when it comes to the watch, and a lot of Vimes history pretty much, and we end up with him now having a son actually, which was called Sam as well. And yeah, it always ends well, which I love, to be honest. I love books with happy endings, and yeah, this one definitely has a happy ending. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I just didn't love it. But I think that is my opinion with all of the the City Watch books. I don't particularly love them, but I like them. You know, I feel like there are some I like more and some I like less. Like the university books I love a lot more, and the death books I also love a lot more. And then the watch and the witches I love a little bit less, but I still like them. So yeah, 3.5 stars. I'm happy I finished it, because that means I finished a book, and like I haven't finished like a physical book in forever, to be honest. So I'm really happy about that. So I don't really know what I will do now. I will probably either watch something or try to look for an audiobook, but I don't know yet. But we'll see. I also want to watch the Barbie movie, but I don't know if I will get to that this evening. But I got I have an option to watch it now, so I do want to watch it because I couldn't go to the cinema when it was out. So I haven't watched it yet, which I'm kind of sad about, to be honest. I heard so much good things about that movie, so I really want to watch that. Okay, we have a little bit of a rough check-in. It is Friday. I woke up today and my body chose chaos. I managed to pull a muscle in my shoulder this morning just by turning. I don't know. You know, I'm not even 30. I'm turning 30 this year, but my body is already giving up, I feel like. So yeah, I'm now on a lot of painkillers and muscle relaxants, and yeah, I'm hurting a lot. And I'm tired from the medication, so there probably won't be much more physical reading in this vlog. I will try, but I know myself, I get easily tired by medicine, so I probably won't have the energy to do that. But I do hope that I might just get another audiobook in to at least give you a little bit of content. I did start a new one yesterday. I started the Hitchhiker's Guide Through the Galaxy, the first book. Because I found it randomly, like on my library app. I have never seen it actually available, so I think it might have not been available the whole time. But I got that and I started that yesterday, and it made a lot of fun listening to that. I loved it, but I like the book. I don't love it actually. I think I read the collection. I really like the first part. Like I love the first part, but the rest I felt like weren't up to par for the first part. But like yeah. But so I'm looking forward to actually listening to that one. But yeah, I physically can't really sit comfortably without pain and being tired, so physical reading might be a problem. So yeah, I don't know. I had a good beginning of the week, and then today everything went just out the window. But yeah, hopefully I will heal rather quickly. We'll see. The doctor didn't sound that hopeful, because I was like, no, I only need to be like off of work for today. And she was like, you sure? And I'm like, hopefully Monday it will be better, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, hopefully I will have at least like the experience of the Hitchhiker's Guide Through the Galaxy for the vlog, but probably not much more. Okay, so I'm gonna end the vlog here. I listened to quite a bit of the Hitchhiker's Guide Through the Galaxy yesterday, but I don't remember much of it. And yeah, the medicine is really like taking a toll on me, and yeah, I don't know, it doesn't make much sense to continue the vlog. So I will see you hopefully Monday feeling better. Let's just hope this. And yeah, I hope your week has gone a little bit better, and I will see you then.